Hello, welcome back. This is Flosstube number 16. Welcome to the Flosstube portion of my channel. If you've missed any of my past videos, I have a separate playlist under the playlist in my channel where you can find all of my Flosstube. Because most of my channel is about, I almost said cross stitch, it's about nail polish. So today we're going to be looking at all the things I've been stitching on the last 2 weeks. As you can, I'm sure, tell, I've been sick. And so what do you do when you have a cold? You sit around and stitch a lot. So I have a lot of fun things to share with you. I have a new start and a finish. I worked some more on my black sampler November. I had a really great time stitching this week. We started a little bit of holiday stitching. So we're gonna go ahead and get into it. First, I'm gonna share with you my whips. These are my works in progress that I stitched on this week. For some reason this week, I was miscounting a lot of things, probably because this cold has taken away like half of my brain, but I kind of fudged a bunch of stuff this week. So we'll talk about that as I get there. I'm going to share with you my whips, and then we will look at the 2 kit ups that I did that I'm excited to start in the near future. All right, so the first thing I'm going to share with you today is my finish. So this was actually the final piece that I was stitching on over the last 2 weeks, and I didn't stop till it was done. So this is the 2012 Prairie Schooler Santa. You're going to see some more of these Prairie Schooler Santas coming up in haul. This is the one that I purchased first. I think this might have been the very first Prairie Schooler pattern that I ever purchased. So I just love him. This is on 40 count Stormy Night by Zweigart. Just how it comes. I didn't over dye it or anything. It has this nice printed modeling, and I figured that this would be kind of an easier fabric for me to get my hands on, so that I can make them all look the same. My plan is to stitch them all, of course. Gotta stitch them all. My plan is to stitch as many as I feel like it and make them into little pillows. So this guy is just so cute, and my first holiday stitching this year. And yeah, not a fully finish, but I did have this one as a finish. And so when I was stitching, I counted wrong. So this is actually, I think, 4 squares longer than it should be, which means that I just had to make him so his coat was longer, covered like more of his knee, so I had to decrease the size here and here. And it ended up messing with the mailbag a little bit, but you can't tell too much. The way I figured it out was I was stitching this, and I was like, why is this envelope so long? This is a really, really long letter. It should be the same size as this. And then I was like, oh, I made a boo-boo in here. And I decided not to undo it because I had already done all of this green and all of this green. So anyway, this is stitched with the called for DMCs with the exception of the red. This is Schoolhouse Red by Gentle Arts. And I really had so much fun stitching this guy. So yeah. All right, the next thing that I want to talk about is my Random Mania stitch that I chose with you guys last time for me to stitch on this next 2 weeks. This is Sue Hillis Designs. Hello Halloween. So basically during Mania, I had only stitched this bird and like half of this bird. I'll put up on the screen where I was at. But when I picked this back up, I realized that I had stitched 2 over 2 on this piece of fabric, which is 36 count pumpkin from Fiber on a Whim, and it was way too plump. I haven't stitched 2 threads over 36 count on anything else, I think, except for this, and I didn't really realize what I was doing when I started it. So I picked it all out and I restarted, and here is where I've gotten to, and I'm really enjoying this little stitch. It helps a lot that I love my fabric. I'm using the called for DMCs, and I got quite a bit done considering that I picked out what I had before, and I really enjoyed this. So I'm glad to make a little progress here, and then we'll see when I end up drawing this out to put some more stitches in. Next up, I have some more progress on my black sampler November. This is the Cold Sea sampler from Modern Folk Embroidery. I love it. It is so delightful to stitch on. I'm stitching this on a piece of fabric from Be Stitch Me. That was one of her colors of the month, and I forget again what it is called, so I'll put it up on the screen again. I'm just using mascara from Weeks as my black, and really enjoying this. This is a 40 count piece of overdyed fabric, and I love it. The next thing I'm excited to start is a red work sampler because I'm really loving the black, and I know I'm gonna love doing a fully red piece as well. I also worked a little bit more on my Folksy Thomas. This is a Patreon pattern from the Teresa Kogut Patreon. And so, let's see, what did I do? I think I did a couple more letters. I think I finished filling in these leaves. And then I came down here and started the turkey, what is that, his wing? But I really love this pattern. I plan to work on it some more between now and Thanksgiving. So you'll have another update on this, even though Thanksgiving is just like in 3 days. So I guess I better get my buns in gear. So I really enjoy this. If you're not on Teresa Kogut's Patreon, I definitely encourage that. It is delightful. So anyway, this is on a hand-dyed piece of 40 count cream by Zweigart, and I just added greens and golds. And I'm using the called for overdyed and DMC mixed flosses. I also put in another little character on my Supernatural stitch along from the Witchy Stitcher, and just still continuing to love this. I've been putting in a new guy every fortnight, so we have one new to show for each video. This one was probably the easiest so far because it was the smallest, so this stitches up so nicely, and I just love the graphic black in there. Really a fan of gothic font, motif. It's just beautiful to me, so super loving this. Oh, and this is stitched on a hand-dyed piece of, I think, 16 count Ada, and I just kind of marshmallow hand-dyed it. Not using marshmallows, using Rit dye. And on my nails today, these are 5 of the limited edition items that are coming to the Moonshine Manny website, along with our Black Friday sale this Thursday. 30% savings if you've been thinking about trying my brand or trying indie polish in general, and you like to have a little bit of fun with your nails, you don't want to just have boring nails, come check us out during the Black Friday sale. So, alright, next project. And this is my last whip of the last 2 weeks, and this is Paisley Pumpkin from Rosewood Manor. And I love this piece so much. The colors are incredible. So here's where I've gotten to. I love all of the rich tones. I'm just using the called for DMCs, and I really love this piece. So I'm excited to get it back out. Probably in this next 2-week update, you'll see another update on this one, because I want to get a little bit more fall stitching in before we're fully into winter. So really enjoying. If you've never tried any design from Karen Kluba, who is the designer behind Rosewood Manor, she's one of my absolute favorites. And again, this is stitched on a piece of hand-dyed by me fabric. This is a Zweigart 40 count. I believe this is a platinum base that I started with, and added greens and golds again, which is one of my go-tos, it seems, for fall stitching, so I've been really enjoying that. Speaking of greens and golds, I dyed another piece of fabric to go along with this pattern. This is Autumn Lane Stitchery's Autumn Town, and you don't stitch any of this light green, and so I wanted to dye a piece of fabric that would work well for that. This looks similar to the one that I was just stitching on for the Paisley Pumpkin, but it's a little bit richer in the green, a little bit less yellow tones in there. So I'm really excited for this one. Do I have time to start this before holiday stitching? I don't know. I have the called for DMCs. There's some Gloriana in there. This piece is so beautiful. And there's some Weeks in there as well. So I have all the floss. I'm ready to get going on this bad boy. But I have some other autumn projects that I really want to make more progress on. So I just don't know. I might start this in the next 2 weeks. The second project that I have kitted up is for this pattern, Berry Bowl Sampler, and this is a celebration of friendship. And it's a collab between Heartstring Samplery and the Scarlet House, two brands that I love a lot. This is just my working copy cover here. And I am going to be starting with this side here. I dyed a piece of fabric to kind of go along with the color of this. And I will be working on this design with my friend Heidi. So what you can do is each take a piece of fabric and start the opposite side of the pattern, and then you send the other person your half of the fabric, and then they stitch the other side. So I'll stitch this once I get that piece of fabric from Heidi. And then when we're both all the way finished, you sew them together, and it's so sweet and so cute. I have the called for flosses from Weeks and Classic Colorworks. There's Gentle Arts in there too. So just really lovely, serene shades. And I'm going to really enjoy that. And as always, this is a piece of 40 count that I hand dyed myself with some brown, like some tan peaches here. And I just wanted to warm up that cream tone a little bit. All right, so those were whips and kits. Now we're going to talk about haul. So I have a little bit of haul because Heidi found another 50% off sale and did a little personal shopping for me. You guys know that I always love to take advantage of that. She finds the best sales. I believe she was at Country Sampler this time. So I'm going to share with you some stuff that I got, and then we'll go from there. All right, so now let's do haul. I know I sound really bad, guys, but believe it or not, this is actually the next day after you watch the intro of this video, and my voice is already repairing a little bit, but we're going to go quickly so I don't wear it all out today. So this is the haul, and these first items are the pieces that Heidi picked up for me when she was at Country Sampler. And she snagged for me this lovely pattern. This is Jenny Bean's Christmas Sampler by Shakespeare's Peddler. I love it so much. I am now obsessed with Jenny Bean, and I'm so excited to stitch that and to hoard all the other Jenny Bean patterns. Next item she snagged for me is Merry Snow by Not Forgotten Farm. Look at that beautiful shade range in there. It's so nice. This is a Heartstring Samplery pattern in the garden. And these were all things that she found on sale in the basement of Country Sampler, I believe. Next we have Barrack Samplers Elizabeth Scholl. And I love the crispness of this design. It's so beautiful. And the last thing that she got for me at that sale was this piece from the Scarlet House, and this is Jane Cowie. And it's so beautiful. I'm seeing so many lovely floss tubers stitching this, and I'm really excited to get started. It's so lovely. Look at those strawberries. And the big moths. So pretty. Alright, and the rest of my haul are these Prairie Schooler Santas. So I got an email from a website, I think it was Everything Cross Stitch, saying that all their Christmas patterns were on sale. And so I was like, oh, let me snag a bunch of these for like $4 a piece. So we have 2020 Santa, and I'm sure you've seen all of these. But in case you haven't, let me show you. Let It Snow. This is the 2018 Santa. Then we have this guy with the cardinal, 2011 Santa and his snowshoes. Ice Skate Santa, 2009. 2022 Santa with the penguinos. And then I got a few of these leaflets too that have the three Santas together. So this is 87, 93, 96. I love those snowflakes in there. 97, 98, and 2013. And I'm going to stitch these all, well, you know, if I get to them. They will be stitched on that same Stormy Night fabric rather than this very yellowy tan color. And then the last one, we have the Skiing Santa, the Polar Bear Santa, And the Sewing Santa, of course I had to get that one. So 2007, 2010, 2017. All right, next I want to pick what project I'm going to be doing. That is a random choice from my 2022 Mania, those projects that I started and didn't get very far on. And so let's go ahead and do that now. We're going to use a random generator. Help me come do that. Okay, here's our list. It is time to choose a new pattern for me for this next 2-week period, and then maybe in 2023 I will revamp this list and decide which things I want to stitch on for that year, but I've been really enjoying this process, and so I plan to continue it. Alright, so this is how we choose a pattern. So I just put my random number between 1 and 0, well 0 and 17, but you know, not 0. So let's see what we get. 17! What is 17? July wordplay, that's fun. This is a Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread piece. I'll put up on the screen what it looks like. I think I put like 1 word in. I got almost nothing done. But that is, I think, a pretty quick piece. So I should be able to get a lot done on it in the next couple weeks. So that is very, very exciting. So I'm looking forward to that. All right, so as for plans, obviously I'm going to work on that project that I just chose. I'm also going to, of course, put in another little figure on my Supernatural Sal because that is such a joy to stitch. So, so fun. And I think it's my only project right now that I'm really sticking with on Ada and 2 strands over 1. I've really been enjoying just stitching with 1 strand. It is so nice for me. I get so many less knots. It's just so delightful. So, such a preference of mine. In-hand stitching, that means stitching it, not using a hoop or anything, just holding it in your hand. And when I do that, I find that it's easier for me to like keep my stitching at different angles so I get less stiffness in my neck and I can maneuver the fabric better, and I stitch upside down when I want to go one way or the other way. So it's just so much easier for me, and then only using 1 thread is so, so nice. Sorry, I know my voice has been terrible to listen to during this video, so thanks for sticking with me. I really wanted to not skip this video because I kind of work myself in 2-week periods of time, and then I put all that stuff away that I've been holding out to talk to you about for Flosstube, and then I get ready for my next fortnight of stitching. So I was already going to be filming a video today to talk about my Moonshine Manny Black Friday sale details, so I just figured we won't skip, we'll go ahead and film today. But I have 2 Christmas presents that I want to start working on this week, and which I probably won't show you till after Christmas, just in case the person who I'm making them for, the persons, happen to watch this video. So, anyway, yeah, I'm really excited, even though I sound like death. And in the week, I have not been feeling that good, but cross stitch has been keeping me very happy and contented and been keeping me company. So I hope that you have a super wonderful stitchy journey this week, and I'm excited to share with you what I'm working on next time. Please tell me in the comments down below what you've been stitching on this week, and I hope that you are healthy, happy, peaceful this week, and enjoy the holidays with your family and friends or with your pets. I love you guys. I'll see you back next time. Bye!